So Darcy, how many times have you gotten a call from a parent and they don't understand the Common Core math assignment?
All the time. And parents will say, I know how to do math, I'm really good at math, but I cannot teach my child. I can't work with them. They say, that's not how my teacher does it. I hear that all the time. But our teachers are trained in how to use the Common Core, how to teach the Common Core, and our curriculum is aligned to the Common Core. So that's something we're very good at.
It's no longer just to get to the answer. To show all the answer and to answer all the whys is really important. And sometimes it's very difficult to teach that why at home because Common Core has made it a little bit more difficult.
Right. And the other thing I notice is people who, whether it's parents or teachers or whatever, who understand math, sometimes have a hard time breaking it down and teaching it to kids who don't understand math, who need it broken down to the very basic elementals.
Because our teachers and our program goes along with the Common Core is a positive, but we can go around and teach it a different way, because if the student isn't getting that in school, they just don't quite follow, we can go and teach it the old-fashioned way. And then the student gets it, and then we go back to the Common Core, and oh, I get it. And so we can be successful, whereas in the classroom, it's one way or the highway.
Well, and can you imagine being one of 25 kids in a classroom and maybe being in a pre-algebra class with a bunch of 7th graders, and you wouldn't want to raise your hand and ask questions either. So when a student comes to Sylvan, they can get their questions answered and be in a comfortable environment to learn.
I like when students come with, I don't like math, and they leave, or 10 hours later, they're like, I didn't know math was so cool. And it's because they didn't understand before versus I get it now.
And some of that just goes to the confidence, building up their confidence and showing them that they do know math, they can do it, and how they can be successful.
I'm seeing more and more that 7th graders are now doing Algebra 1, and even the most strongest of 7th graders are now calling us because all of a sudden they're in an Algebra 1 class, which is a high school class. We are in Washington State and math standards are really strong here. A lot of students are calling us for algebra homework, geometry, and IB is getting more and more intense and difficult every day. And just being able to serve every student, so a mom can have a middle schooler, a kindergartner, or a high schooler, and she can drop them all off at one time to take care of all her math needs. Families love us for that.
Absolutely. You don't want to close the math door. That's what I tell parents, because what's coming up ahead are different career options, and we don't want to close the math door because there's so much more available now. Whether the child is going to go to a 4-year school or a 2-year school or a trade school, it doesn't matter. The math is going to be important.
Just being able to help a student with math and the ability to remediate it if needed is super strong. You might have touched a subject in 5th grade, a concept, and now you see it in algebra, fractions. A lot of our students struggle with fractions, and being able to understand fractions or have an opportunity to revisit it when they start algebra is huge.
Math is a life skill if you think about it. You need to know how to do your budget. You need to do your taxes.
More and more we are hearing even families saying, I was not good at reading or math, but that's why I want to bring our kid to Sylvan, because I don't want him or her to experience what I did. And that's really such a great call to have, and the fact that we are here to help them and the family is supportive, they really appreciate us.